You thought you had all the time in the world to figure out how you're going to look for that event. It's tonight and you still don't know what eye makeup look to pull off. Don't you worry, girl. I've got you covered. I know you're still learning makeup, but you want to look glam for tonight. So sit back and let me teach you how to slay with a simple cut crease. And if you're like me who loves to do more than one thing at a go, then let's do some makeup and sip on some tea from Reddit. I am 29 years old and used to be best friends with Anna since high school, who is also 29 years old. By the way, this story happened 6 years ago when we were 23 years of age. She was popular and outgoing while I was the introverted, nerdy friend. In high school, I had a crush on Ethan, who was also 23 years old when the event happened, but I assumed he'd prefer Hannah, so I stayed out of it. They started dating and I supported her with reluctance because of their toxic on and off relationship. Over time, I grew to dislike Ethan because he was rude and mean. They broke up when we were 21 but got back together a year later and eventually got engaged at 23. 3 months before the wedding, Ethan drunkenly called me, asking why I rejected him. I dismissed him and said he was drunk and ended the call. The very next day, I was kicked out of group chats and ghosted by everyone else in our friend circle. When I texted my friends to ask what happened, they gave me the silent treatment. When I reached out to Hannah, I found myself blocked. Desperate, I even tried calling Ethan, but my number was blocked too. I had no idea what I had done wrong and wished anyone would tell me. That week was hell. Hannah's silence hurts the most because at the time, she meant everything to me. I barely slept, battling panic attacks at night while trying to keep it together for class during the day. If not for my supportive roommates who helped me through my panic attacks, I don't know how I would have made it through. Hannah and I attended the same local university but took different courses. I waited for her outside her class. When she came out with her friends, I pulled her aside and asked what was going on. She accused me of being a fake friend who tried to steal Ethan. I denied the accusation and asked her for proof, but she went silent and left. They didn't unfriend me on Facebook but kept posting about their hangouts and the bridal shower, along with indirect jabs at me. I eventually deleted my old account and changed my number. I slowly rebuilt my self-esteem and moved on. I recently created a new Facebook account. A few days ago, I was added to a group chat for our upcoming reunion, which I had no idea about. They greeted me, calling me class president as if they hadn't shunned me 6 years ago. I left the group, but they kept messaging me. Hannah kept calling, so I finally picked up out of annoyance. She told me that she was sorry for everything and wished for me to come to the class reunion party. The party didn't seem to be complete without the class president every year. She told me that she divorced Ethan after 2 years of marriage. She tried to reach out to me but couldn't find any of my socials or contact info after we graduated. I asked her why she was telling me all this when she was not important to me anymore. She cried. I ended the call and continued ignoring their messages on Messenger. Yesterday, I received a friend request from him along with a message saying hi in my Messenger. So we talked. He invited me for a coffee this weekend so we can talk about it. I told him to not push his luck and just answer me. I asked him about his call that night. Since most boys were too intimidated to approach me, they often asked Hannah to convey their feelings to me. Ethan was one of them. Apparently, a lot of boys had a crush on me back then, but at the time, only Hannah received open confessions, so I assumed I was undesirable, not that it mattered to me. I was foolishly infatuated with Hannah, so much so that I would have rolled out a red carpet for her to walk on if I could. She was my entire world back then. Not even once have I ever heard about any boys in high school liking me from Hannah. Apparently, Hannah would always come back to them with her apologetic face, telling them that I had rejected them and repeating the insults that I had supposedly said about them. No wonder some people back in high school called me arrogant and disliked me for some reason. I just thought it was because I was a strict class president and student committee member. Unlike Anna, she was friendly and charming. I was strict, sharp-tongued, and rarely smile. I don't owe anyone a smile. Ethan explained that it was mean to me back then because Hannah told him that I had said he was an orphan abandoned by his parents. This was a particularly sensitive topic for him as he had been raised by his grandparents since high school. He later discovered the truth when Anna inadvertently admitted it during an argument. That moment led him to file for divorce. Ethan shared that he genuinely loved Hannah, but her constant insecurity and habit of bringing up my name in every argument strained their relationship. She either accused Ethan of still thinking about me or compared him to me. Hannah did find out about Ethan's drunk call that very same night. They had an argument and Ethan came close to calling off the wedding, but Hannah guilt-tripped him into staying. Neither Ethan nor Hannah lied or twisted the story. Hannah simply told her entire friend group to stop talking to me. They knew I hadn't done anything wrong, but somehow it was still my fault that Ethan had unresolved feelings towards me. I was and still am an introvert, and most of my friends back then were hers. It wasn't surprising that they followed her lead when she turned against me. They were always her friends, not mine. Hannah and my ex-classmates then painted me as a villain to the other friends from high school. Ethan didn't do anything to help me because he was manipulated to hate me. His words, not mine. That's why I changed my number and deleted all my social media accounts. While no one directly bombarded me with mean messages, I constantly saw posts that seemed to be aimed at me, even though my name was never mentioned. Ethan only revealed everything to the other friends after his divorce with Hannah was finalized. Now Hannah and my ex-classmates are the ones being shunned by the others since 2 years ago. Ethan said that he owed me an apology even though he knew it wouldn't be enough after everything that happened. While he never smeared my name, he stood on the sidelines and did nothing simply because I rejected him and called him an abandoned orphan during high school. He asked me if I would be going to the upcoming reunion party. Turns out the reunion party this time was for the 1995 high school batch. My ex-classmates probably wanted their former class president to attend for appearances. I told him I wouldn't go. He said I can sit with him and his ex-classmates if I wanted to. Why would I? Brother, I told him I wouldn't be attending because I have no friends from high school. He mentioned that the others would be sad if they heard I said that. Well, screw them. I received a lot more messages from old friends, but I didn't respond to any of them. I have no attachments towards them. I told Hannah that Ethan already told me everything. She called me on Messenger again sobbing. She admitted she might have been a terrible friend, but that she did care about me. All those years, I was always on her mind. I was too attached to her back then because she was my first real friend, as I had no friends in middle school. I was too shy and quiet, so I couldn't make friends. Hannah taught me how to make friends and overcome my social anxiety and introduced a lot of people to me. I learned to cook for her and took care of her when she was sick. I even protected her from creeps. Everything I did was for her. Now that I think about it, it was kind of unhealthy. Maybe she wanted me to be the version of myself again only for her convenience. She begged me to try again, that she would be a better person for me, but I just ended the call and blocked her. After a few minutes of contemplating, I decided to delete my Facebook account again. I have a feeling that if I didn't, they will keep on bothering me. I'll settle with a fake account. The main reason why I made my Facebook account is to play Harvest Town anyway. My family says forgiveness is for my own peace and that it doesn't mean forgetting. But I don't feel anything anymore, only indifference. I don't owe them anything to ease their guilt. So, am I the asshole? Well, I do question friendships like this because there were quite a lot of red flags. The issue of Anna not telling OP about her male interests seems to be an issue of envy. I believe she was envious of her and didn't want to share the spotlight with her when it came to male attention. I wouldn't be surprised if she knew that OP had a crush on Ethan years ago and Hannah just wanted him instead. Ladies like that tend to drain you. They constantly nibble on your self-esteem, chipping away until you reach rock bottom and totally depend on them. They thrive when your self-esteem is low to give them a sense of high, when in reality they actually have a very low self-esteem. And I believe the only way to get out from that so-called friendship is to limit contact and cut them off totally. So yeah, I do support OP's decision because I can only imagine what she went through psychologically and emotionally 6 years ago when Hannah completely cut her off and took her friends with her with no explanation whatsoever. I don't even want to speak on the relationship between Ethan and OP because I don't think it's worth discussing. I would just say that no relationships, whether friendships or romantic ones, can survive when parties aren't communicating appropriately and basing their emotions on the comments made by outsiders. I say this because of the comments about Hannah telling him that OP insulted him and all the lies Hannah told. You know, personally, I need to hear it from the horse's mouth to believe it. And yeah, it's true that people can come up to you and tell you the truth about what someone else is saying behind your back. But you should have been smart enough to see Anna's attitude about Hopi and weighed the so-called truths appropriately because they didn't seem to hold water. As I said, I shouldn't even be commenting on the relationship between Ethan and OP because there really wasn't one. And maybe because this hits a little too close to home for me because I have once been in a friendship with a guy before. Things were good until he just switched up on me and treated me like the worst thing he had ever laid eyes upon. I tried reasoning with him severally, but just gave up because he wasn't ready to tell me what I had done wrong. I was like so perplexed, but I just had to let go of the friendship because it didn't even feel like what to fight for, and the immaturity was unappealing. Well, several years went by and we reconnected. He told me that he had heard from some other guy who was within our circle, by the way, about some outrageous things that I had done, and then apologized for treating me that way because he later found out the guy who told him those stuffs had ulterior motives. I mean, too little too late. All you had to do right was ask me and at least to explain my side of things. So I do believe OP should not reignite any of those so-called friendships, as they are in her past for a reason. So it's a good decision on her part, and I hope she gets to play as much Harvest Town games as she wants. Anyway, that's the end of the story, and I don't think she's the asshole, by the way. Yeah, so I'll be doing my lips off camera, as there's a tutorial on my lip combo already up on my channel, and I'll link it in the description. Alright ladies, that will be all for today. I hope the tutorial was easy to follow, but if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. And also I'll be dropping some transitions with this makeup look, so make sure you're following me on my socials so you don't miss out on them. Okay, see you next week. Bye.